So, as I said in the Car Talk video, which may or may not come out before this one, not exactly sure, Clay and I watched... Oh, sorry, my ears were needed to pop. We watched Shrek 2 last night. And by watch, I mean I was shiny hunting, but I was listening to the movie. He was playing his new copy of Pokemon Crystal, but listening to the movie. And as soon as we both heard C minor, put it in C minor, we both immediately stopped what we were doing and watched the best scene in the movie. I do not associate holding out for a hero with Footloose. I know that's the movie it comes from. I always think of Shrek every time I hear it. It's almost the opposite of All-Star, where All-Star is like, this is the Shrek movie. Or excuse me, this is the Shrek song. I always think of Digimon. That is a Footloose song. I always think of this. This movie is hilarious. This movie is heartfelt. This movie's great. What am I supposed to say? It's like I said in the Car Talk thing. It's what am I supposed to say about Shrek 2? You've probably seen it. You know it's good. This movie is entertaining as hell. I love the new cast members. Puss in Boots is great. Charming is fun. I like the parents quite a bit. The fairy godmother is amazing. My favorite scene in the movie. Of course, the holding out for a hero thing. That goes without saying. My favorite joke in the entire movie is the medieval meal. That entire scene makes me laugh so hard. I've literally just snorted thinking about it. I just stop the car! Harold, you're forcing me to do something I really don't want to do. My diet is ruined. I hope you're happy. And then just the person working the window. And this comes with the medieval meal as she passes it a freaking battle axe. And Charming looks so happy to be holding it. And I crack up every single time. Clay got a good laugh out of seeing Sir Justin, and I remember telling you, I was like, dude, the first time I saw this movie, that joke made me laugh really, really hard. I thought it was so good. The soundtrack is great. Yes, the Holding Out for a Hero cover, we all know that. The cover of David Bowie's Changes, which still has David Bowie in it, kind of weird, but that's great. I don't know if it's a cover of Funky Town. I don't know who did the original, if that is the original, but it's catchy as hell. I really like it. The music that plays when they're fighting the fairy... They don't even have dental. Another scene that makes me laugh every time I watch it. But the music that plays during that climax, it's not really a climax, but during that action scene, I like it. It's catchy. It doesn't play for super long, but I think it's good. Shrek movie, at least the first two, I don't remember 3 or 4 very well, have really good soundtracks. Oh, so yeah, it's the movie looks good. The movie sounds good. The movie's writing good. It's just good. It's just great. It's Shrek 2. It's an S-tier movie. It is currently one of 2 movies, the other being Prince of Egypt, that are these are the ones that are contending for the top place. We kind of were looking down the list earlier, or last night after we watched it. It looks like we're about to hit a rough patch. I mean, some of the movies look alright, but next is fucking Shark Tale. Shark Tale's bad. I watched it in theaters. I know, this movie's terrible. Now maybe I'll rewatch it and be like, okay, you know what? Your main character is incredibly unlikable. It's hideous to look at. But it's funny. We'll see. It might be like Ants, where I think it's a lot worse than it actually is. But I'm not optimistic going into freaking Shark Tale. I know Monsters vs. Aliens. It's in a few movies, but it's coming up. I've seen it. I did not like it. Maybe on a rewatch. Would be good. I'm not looking forward to it. Madagascar is next. I've never gotten into it. I've only ever seen the first one. From what I understand, It sounds like some people think the second one is better. Some people think it's not as good. Apparently the third one's great. But I'm not excited to watch Madagascar again. Maybe I'll think it's funny. I don't know. But the movies that I feel like can genuinely compete with Shrek 2 and Prince of Egypt for the crown, Kung Fu Panda 2, that is my favorite of those three movies. And I don't know if I would say Megamind. I love me some Megamind. I don't know if I like it as much as those other movies. Possibly a How to Train Your Dragon movie. Because I remember really liking 1 and 2, and I haven't seen 3. I really wanted to, and then it just kind of worked out where I still haven't. I'm very, very excited to watch 3. That might be the one that completely takes it. I don't know, but this movie's great. I really don't want to have to watch the next one. And you could argue if that means Shark Tale because it's next in the marathon, Shrek the Third because it's the next Shrek movie, which is also coming up in this curve. I just don't want to watch the next one.